What's up, YouTube? Sean the Average Angler here, and I have had some inquiries about jig fishing and my jigs and what I do. So we're going to go over a couple tips here. Pretty simple for the most part, okay? I probably should have got a zip tie. Well, we're just going to use an example because I don't do the zip ties, but it is a way you can do it. Anyway, what do I do? How do I tie a jig skirt? And in this case, I'm just wanting to tie a jig skirt that I bought that has a rubber band. Okay, this is the Ike's Mini Swim Jig. Let's get this adjusted down here. All right, so you can see I've got the strands. I did it in just a vise. I have a jig tying, fly tying vise, but I did it in just a vise because I wanted you all, if you don't have one, you don't need one. You can just use a vise to hold it, okay? I got a bobbin with thread here, and if you don't have all this, don't want to get it, I'll show you another way to do it, but I just start there, right at the rubber band. And we're going to have to tighten this because it's moving a little much. So start your first couple without too much pressure and then add some more. You got to be careful because the thread will break if you pull too hard. We want to stay off of that rubber band. Okay, go 5-6 times around. Just do a simple overhand knot. Pull it snug. Another overhand knot, pull it snug. Another overhand knot, pull it snug. Yep, see? Just broke it. But I have enough strands in there that we're good. So we'll cut this rubber band. And this is really, I mean, if you got a brand new jig, I'm not as anal about it. It's the older jig because the rubber starts to deteriorate and it'll break. So all I'm using here is a woman's hair clip. Apparently I'm not very good with them. Probably not a bad thing. And I'm just doing that to hold the strands out in front. There's my thread that I was tying with. Trim it back. And I'm thinking we should probably tie that again. Alright, now we get the rubber band out of there. And my hair tie is moving around. Now, jig tying's a little harder with the weed guard in there, right? I don't know if you noticed, but that time I did a double overhand knot. Now single. Watch the weed guard. Yeah, I got a bunch of strands in there. Anyway, that's what I do. Snip that thread. Pull off that hair tie. And then you have hand-tied skirt. The rubber's gone. You can see in there the rubber's gone, has that beige thread. Okay, so now that's a swim jig that's not going to fall apart. Now, here's the other method. Oh, so if you're replacing the rubber band, and you just want to replace the rubber band, that's also easily done with a small zip tie. Or you don't have a small zip tie, you can use a bread tie, the bread with wire tie. Just wrap that around there a couple times like this, spin it, snip it, you're good to go. All right, but we're going to show you another way. And this is, I also tie my own jigs. And tying your own jigs is really kind of the best way to get what you want. I painted this workbench where I had this hole drilled and there's paint in there, so I'm having a harder time getting this in there far enough. But it's working. We'll get her done. Now, the round rubber is much easier to tie with. This other stuff kind of wants to get away from you a little bit, but it's essentially the same thing. And you just tie a few knots in it. Snip it. And this is a finesse football, as I tied the skirt short, plus this head is really good because, let me trim this. This, I believe, is a Gamakatsu half-ounce football head. All right, you see how that's standing out like that. That's because in here it has, let me grab one. This is the head to start with. And you'll see, come on camera, focus. Right in here, it's got this narrow, there we go, this narrow notch right here. So as you wrap your thread and pull it tight, it makes that skirt pop out. So that's a pretty good one. I'm going to take that with me to Shasta and probably win the tournament on it. Okay, stays out, stays lively. That's a couple jig tips for you for this winter. Take those out, catch you some fish. Let me know how it goes. Sean, the Average Angler, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.